Hi everyone, Mel here with Mel's Agency, and this week I am doing videos geared towards what it takes to launch your online course from scratch. So in my last video, I talked a lot about engagement and the importance of engaging your followers as well as engaging with other similar accounts. And in this video, I want to talk about being proactive and pursuing your passion when it comes to creating online course content. And when I talk about being proactive and pursuing, I'm talking more so about gauging how committed and how passionate you are about the course topic that you've selected to teach people, and to make sure that you're just like it's a right fit and that you're committed to the process. Because a lot of times we start off with something and then it kind of shifts and it changes as we evolve and as we continue to learn and grow, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely something that's going to happen in this process, on this journey. So I just want to talk a little bit more about that today in this video. So in this video, I want to talk and focus more on being proactive when it comes to engaging with your audience. And I did talk about this a little bit more in the previous video, but now I want to focus more so and highlight on this and the importance of it when it comes to creating and launching your online course. Okay, so the importance with being proactive with this is because you need to make sure that you are honest with yourself and that you are seriously committed and willing to put in the time. You're passionate enough to, commit to the process, and that this isn't something that's just going to fizzle out for you when you start, the first couple of weeks or months or so, and then you get discouraged because you don't feel like you're getting the interaction and engagement or the numbers that you wish you were seeing. A lot of times, a lot of people give up too easily, and they're not willing to, commit for the long haul and to the process for the long haul. And so that's why it's so important to be proactive, so that you can start to really get an honest picture for yourself on how much you're really willing to invest into this, okay? So I want you to picture and imagine for a second that, actually remember for a second, like being in, grade school, whether it's middle school, elementary school, high school, even college. There's one common place where it's kind of like relates to social media, and that's the cafeteria. So imagine for a second that you're back in whatever grade school it is, or whatever level, whatever course level, whatever, and imagine that you are in the school cafeteria, okay? And it's kind of like social media, because you see this whole sea of people and everybody's sitting, in their respective tables with their little cliques or whatever is going on. Some people are sitting by themselves, and maybe that person that's sitting by themselves, maybe that's your ideal client, okay? Someone that is like lonely, or someone that is lacking in self-esteem, or maybe there's someone that's confident and they don't mind sitting by themselves, okay? Then you have these tables that are filled with other people that are, different cliques. So see these different cliques as your different audiences, your different niches, your different markets. See those people sitting in these clusters, like over here you might have the cool kids, over here you might have, the pretty girls or the pretty boys or whatever. You have these different cliques scattered all over the cafeteria. See yourself, you just got your lunch and you're holding your lunch tray and you're surveying this sea of people, your audience, and you're trying to decide which table you need to approach, which table you need to sit down at and start a conversation with, okay? So picture that in your mind for a second and just imagine yourself in that situation. That's kind of the same thing that's happening here with social media when it comes to you being proactive and inviting yourself to the table. You have this whole sea of people in front of you on social media, these whole different groups, whole different categories, markets, and niches, and you have to invite yourself to the table and start productive conversations to get yourself out there and to present yourself as a subject matter expert or someone that's knowledgeable with what you do know, and also as someone that is, available for people to come to and to talk to and have these sorts of conversations with. It is all about connection. And again, as I mentioned in the previous video a little bit, this is important because when you take the time to sit down and start real conversations with real people, it is going to help you create your content and tailor it specifically for what you are trying to do with your online course content. It's tailored specifically for the people that is going to, reach and that it's meant for. So your online course, again, is pretty much like pre-selling itself, but you're not going to be able to get that insight, that valuable insight, and know what to do or even where to go when it comes to creating your course content until you take the time to invite yourself to the table, sit down with your market, sit down with your ideal client, your ideal audience, and have these real conversations with them. Find out what it takes to get them to, feel comfortable and confident enough to look at you as someone that to provide the answers. If you're struggling with creating course content and where to go, or if you launched and you found out, why aren't people coming to me like I thought they would? This is something that is obviously a big need. I know that it's needed, but why aren't people coming to me when I, put myself out there? A lot of times we have to scale back and look at how to reach people, not just what we are trying to reach them with. We have to look at the messaging and how we are trying to reach them. And for each person, this is going to be uniquely different. There isn't one size fit all. There isn't this cookie cutter method that we can all follow, that it will be guaranteed to work for us each and every time, because we're each unique and we are each different. So we're going to have our own way of reaching our audience, okay? And so that's why it's important for you to take the time to invite yourself to the table and sit down with people and have these real conversations. Another key important aspect that I would like to bring up is that when you are being proactive and reaching out to people and looking at, imagine yourself again at the front of the cafeteria and you're just looking out and the sea of people and you're trying to figure out where you're going to sit. Check your mental state of mind as well. As you're looking out in this sea of people and wondering who you're going to approach, what table you're going to approach first, what's your mental state of mind? Do you feel confident in approaching these people? Or are you too worried about, looking like an imposter or like a fraud? Or are you too worried about whether or not you're going to be accepted into this audience? Are you someone that's like more comfortable hiding behind the screen? Or are you comfortable enough to like introduce yourself? Hey guys, sorry about that. So I do want to apologize because I had a little bit of a slight technical difficulty, which pretty much resulted in me losing some of the files that I recorded, and so I have to re-record some of that because I want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm trying to say here when I come and talk about mentally showing up for yourself. Alright, so ultimately the goal here for us, when I'm talking about showing up for yourself mentally so that you can show up for others, I want you to evaluate when you're standing in the cafeteria with that tray in hand and you're looking out and see people that you want to approach, the tables that you want to approach. What's going on mentally for you? Are you mentally like a healthy dose of nervousness and confidence, or are you like feeling like an imposter, or do you feel like super nervous about approaching people to the point where you feel like you can't even communicate the help and the message that you're trying to give to them clearly or in a confident manner? So what's your mental state when you're talking about or even thinking about approaching these people with your course topic, and do you feel confident enough? Because that's going to translate whenever you do have these phone interviews and calls with people on whether or not they feel that they can trust you to be confident enough to guide them as you're offering to do. And the reason having this mental state is so important, not like just hyping yourself up, but being mentally prepared for yourself to show up and then to be able to show up for others, is because we are trying to solve a problem, right? We know that there are people out there that need a certain skill set or that need, a certain piece of knowledge that we have, and so we want to be there to help solve those people's problems. But in order to be able to show up for them, we have to be able to show up for ourselves first. And so by mentally showing up for yourself, having that confidence is going to allow you to keep going strong. When you get discouraged or when you feel dejected because you're not getting clients as fast as you thought you would, that's part of the normal process of any business especially when you're just starting out. It's just normal that, things aren't going to be flowing as quickly as, you would expect it to, unless you've already maybe warmed up your audience, or maybe you have like a big network that you could tap into. But for most of us that's just starting out from scratch, we have no social media following whatsoever, and this is all like pretty much from the ground up. And so building up that mental state, showing up for yourself first, is going to make sure that again you have that commitment, that dedication, that sense of dedication. You have that instilled in you already, so that as you're going forward, no matter when you go through the ups and downs, you're going to be strong in those ups and downs because you've taken the time out to mentally adjust and mentally prepare yourself for what is ahead and what you're getting into, and the fact that you have something of great value to offer to people, and you're not going to stop just because things aren't showing up right now in the first 3 months or so. You're going to keep going to get the mission done in your mind, which is to help people with the knowledge that you know. Alright guys, so the final thing that I do want to mention is that I currently am doing a small mini boot camp for 3 weeks for 3 people that want help with their business, whether it's launching a business from scratch, whether it's launching an online course from scratch. These are some tips and insights that I would like to share with you from my personal experiences on what it takes, what you need to have in place to launch a business so that you can save time, save some frustration, and even get some, simple technical know-how so that you don't have to invest a whole lot of money in web developers or anything like that. I would like to help 3 people over the course of 3 weeks learn some of these basic essential skills so that they can get their business idea, they can get their course idea off the ground from scratch. So if that's something that sounds of interest to you, make sure that you DM me or comment below and I'll reach out to you to find out if we would be a good match and a good fit for a sort of mini session, coaching session when it comes to your business, okay? So I'll leave the link for that down below. You can visit the website as well, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. So guys, in the next video, I'm going to be covering some of the most commonly asked questions when it comes to launching an online course from scratch. Make sure you tune into that tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.